Hooray! I think that's working this time. I got a problem where it seems to start my stream unlisted, which means I'd have to share the link for the stream before people could see it. Obviously, I always want people to go, "Oh, BoredGamer's streaming. Let's go watch him and give him lots of money." But that's my donation voice. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Is that good? Is that working? Hello? Hello, is this working? Hello? Is it not working? Is it working? This is my stream's live, but is it live? Yes, you can hear me. Thank you. Good. Why does it say live stream offline on my screen? But it says it's also live at the same time. Oh, I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Just make the sound of a horse. Get rid of that. Think that's fixed? Let's assume that's fixed. Perfect. Let's twit out. Live streaming now. Right, that's Discord sorted. Twitter sorted. Bam. Perfect. Oh, that video can go live when I'm done on stream. I'm gonna have a 2-second bio, and then we'll start the stream proper. Bam. Oh, if you want to ask a question in brackets, and then I'll be able to pick it out from the other words in the chat. Hey! Yeah. That's how you can tell I'm old. Old board gamer. Right. Let's click on chat. My beautiful face appears. Let's make the sound of the background sounds lesser or fewer. Hey, how's everyone doing? You good? Hope you are well. I'm BoredGamer, and I want to be talking about some Star Citizen-based stuff today. If you've got any questions, put question in brackets. It can be about anything. It can be about me, about YouTube, about Star Citizen. Those are sort of like things I'm reasonably good at answering to some degree. I'm Bick. I'm a Bick. Thank you very much. What I'm going to try and do is have 3 attempts at saying anyone's name, and then hopefully one of those will be reasonably appropriate. I'm the worst with names and words I've never seen before. My brain doesn't know how to pronounce it. I'm dyslexic. I sort of have a bad disconnection problem with certain things like that. Correct the 3rd time. Umbrick. Perfect. Thanks. Thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. And for people that want to sub, I think it's half-price subs throughout the month, and I get all the money still, or something like that. If you do that, you can. Feel free to. You can support the channel with YouTube members and Patreons and donations and however else you want, even if it's just commenting and subscribing and liking, whatever. I don't care. Whatever's great for you. It is genuinely really appreciated. I fucking love your faces.
Love you, man.
Oh, see the deep fry? See? Getting people to sub by making them... Like, should I make them feel guilty? Oh, it's really hard to make content on YouTube and Twitch and being a streamer. People don't understand the pain you go through playing computer games all day and chilling out and be able to work your own hours and get up at like midday, do some work. Oh, people don't understand. So like and subscribe. I'm in a weird mood. Okay, so I was up until 2 a.m. I was up until like 4 a.m. last night. I was up until 2 a.m. playing with Rexilla, some of his ops that he does for Star Citizen. So I've got a video, I would say highlights, but it's a 35-minute video. It's quite a chunky video. Going through some of the stuff we did there, some of the operations. I'm not great at naming videos that much for clickbait on YouTube. Sometimes I go, I can clickbait name this, but it's always factual to what the video is. I can name them informatively. I sort of like that works in my head. So I was like naming it and going, well, there's lots of stuff happens in this. It's like Operation Fangirl was mentioned a few times, so I've called it that. But it's a lot of gameplay and silliness in Star Citizen. It's like some of it's like a Soviet Womble bullshittery video. I mean, I not as good, obviously. The great Soviet Womble, who I love. Oh, people are chucking me money as well. Robert Johnston. Sorry, my favourite pie bowler. I'm bipolar. You see, it's a joke because I'm slightly mad. Thanks, Robert Johnston. I've run out of money, and don't worry. I have some people bidding on my kidney. Oh my god! Now I feel sort of guilty. Robert Johnston is a massive donator to my channel, and it's genuinely very appreciated. But it's never necessary, except when it is. No, thank you very much appreciated, and I hope you make a good amount of money on your kidney. GR, thank you very much for the super chat. Yo, bored. I'm Galileo in game. That one should be easy to pronounce. The 3 is silent. Galileo. No, probably not. I will add you. That's no worries. We will be doing some more gameplay later this week. I was going to do some today, but I am absolutely shattered, and I've got some video plans already. And I want to talk about some of the stuff that we can expect for 3.7, I suppose, and beyond that as well. All hail BoredGamer, thank you very much. Lame British internet, what? My internet is terrible, relative to other people's countries, mainly America. Although, Salty Mike had a load of problems with Comcast for like over a year, so. Wardy, thank you very much, Jaybird Max, for the love. I love your face. You're a star. What? I can click on these? Oh shit! Nice. I'm just working out how software works. Is this game a victory royale or big oof? I don't know what that means. Are you talking about what type of game it is? It's an alpha game. Is alpha out? Can you words? Okay, so Star Citizen is out in alpha form. It's a playable alpha. It's not what you would deem really. It's sort of like just got into the stages, in my opinion, of like a very early access game on Steam. There's no full persistence yet. There's no true progression. At least every 3 months, your progress is restarted, and they're still building out a lot of the core of the game, and then they're going to be building out loads of the gameplay loops for individual professions. So at the moment, it's sort of like a tourist destination, and you have your feedback on the gameplay loops that you play, and then go, I like this, I didn't like this balance is terrible, this gameplay mechanic is trash, this one's good, and they iterate on it. That's their model. And they constantly do these ship sales and things like that as well. That's how they fund the game. I love the community and the project and what they're trying to do. It's this sort of like, for me, it's a cross between Elite Dangerous and EVE Online and a beautiful first-person shooter. And they sort of trying to bring all these components together simultaneously. Hopefully done right, but we'll have to wait and see. Boxes falling through ship's hulls. Mobigloss is not appearing. Why? I hope the fix is soon. I'm really struggling with these two bugs in particular right now. I think a lot of people are, Andrew. So it's two of the most egregious problems in Star Citizen, and with their staggered development model, they've sort of promised that each of the patches, I mean, sort of from 3.7, but more 3.8 going forward, will be significantly more playable. That's basically what they've said, and we need to start holding them to account for, is this patch more playable? How many terrible game-breaking bugs are there? Because all the boxes falling through the ships, the Mobiglass breaking, not appearing, and that sort of stuff, it's really annoying. It's immersion breaking. It stops you from having gameplay. I am questionless. Recent content has improved by SIG, so I'm more chill, just waiting for CitizenCon. I think CitizenCon this year is so important for CIG. But for me, okay, so from covering Star Citizen for years, CitizenCon for me, that they need to start showing that they can have these products in a better state, that they can actually finalise and finish off Squadron 42. So really, I want to see some cool stuff at CitizenCon. I want to see some of the gameplay loops that are talked about a lot. So jump points, new system, some of the exploration stuff. I want to see a Squadron 42 release date, or at least something big for Squadron 42. What is the Pisces? Pisces, or whatever it's called. Pisces? Pisces, as in, the two fish in the, the Gemini, all those fucking things. So the Pisces is the snub that's got a scout/exploration vibe on the Carrack. Comes with the Carrack, and we're expecting to potentially see that at CitizenCon as well now. There's been some leaks that suggests that might be the case. I refreshed the page and got an ad for World of Warships. You should not be getting ads before my videos. I'll have a look. I've had some oddities with the streaming. Is CIG in partnership with anyone regarding server issues? I think to some extent they're in partnership with Amazon when it comes to leasing their hardware, because they're using AWS Amazon Web Services. It seems they should have access to some of the best server tech, people including programmers, on the planet. I think they do have some pretty good people working in-house on stuff. Obviously, they probably get some form of support from Amazon as well, but from Lumberyard as well as AWS. But they're building the tech now. So they are working on server-side container streaming and server meshing, and the sort of core of their tech. They're making the servers authoritative. They are trying to severely improve Star Citizen as it is now in its server tech and its networking code, so that it's actually an MMO rather than a 50-player sort of like match. Although it can handle 50 players in one area pretty well, even now. It's, I say pretty well, I mean, it's not appropriate for a finished released game or anything, but it's getting better and better. And then they need to bring all this core tech on before they can actually have the game in a better state. I don't want people to be lagging around. I mean, FPS is enjoyable from a cinematic point of view, but playing it's just, infuriating. I did awaken from hibernation. Literally, I was absolutely shattered last night. Couldn't get to bed, though, after I finished playing with Rexel. I had too much adrenaline pumping in me. Every concierge level has a reward attached to it, except the 15,000 level. Do you think they will add rewards for this pledge, and perhaps new pledge levels to generate more income? I'm not sure if people that are concierge put more money in to get the next level of concierge, more so than they do just to buy ships. I don't know. I don't have the statistics and the numbers. I do know that there's almost twice the number of concierge players now since the 890 went back on sale. I would like a monetization breakdown of CIG and ships that people have at some point. That would be pretty cool. And anyone that joined us on Rexilla's stream last night that was playing with me, it was very good playing with you guys, and I hope to join you again soon. How do I get excited enough to actually start playing Star Citizen again with all the major bugs, pushed features, and mostly lackluster CIG community content? So the community content is erratic from CIG. Some weeks it's lackluster, and that's a really big fucking blow. I do want there to be more and more content. They seem to be trying odd things, and I don't think we're going to get any huge changes in CIG's community content until after CitizenCon. I think they're probably getting ready for that. But I would encourage CIG and Jared to put out another show. I'd like to have like a weekly or either monthly ship shape, a monthly deep dive, a monthly look at something cool. Like the Inside Star Citizens are sometimes really great. The Star Citizen Lives are sometimes really great. Like last week's, both of those were great. Genuinely great shows. They've got the roadmap roundup now, which is really, really, really interesting. You so learned, Papa Board. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it. I don't want to be a Papa Board. Sounds weird and creepy, but thank you. So I do want like calling all devs again, and some of the. I mean, to me, it's low effort content. It's literally asking someone else some questions and getting answers for them. That's really good content. That's what we want from CIG, and they don't have to do it for a video, I suppose. I just want to see more and more devs answer questions, and if you do look through the forums, you do actually see that a reasonable amount. So it's not worth the $3+ million they're getting a year for community content from subs, but that obviously does pay for other things as well. And I want to ask CIG some questions on sub money and that sort of thing in the future. So I'll get some questions for that. I'll probably I'll poke Tyler and Jared and see if they're willing to answer some sub-specific questions about video content, about monetization of that, about how much they're getting for sub money, about the plans for the future for content, and about how they respond to the community from that. Why do you think CIG doesn't understand that the Cutlass is way underpowered for hull strength? So are you using hardpoint.io for that information? So the Cutlass is not terribly underpowered, but it is underpowered for hull strength, don't get me wrong. Balance and times to kill and all that sort of stuff will change severely in the next few months when they add or start adding physicalized components for ships. So everything's going to change around that. There's a huge amount more balance and stuff they need to do as well. So there's going to be ebbs and flows with all the different ships in the meantime and weapons. Some stuff's going to be incredibly overpowered. Some stuff's going to be incredibly underpowered. Some stuff in between. Some stuff just never used because it's like it's not in the right place yet. But all of the things, all of the balance, all of the combat, all of that is still being built out. So and even after that, there's going to be huge amounts of balance changes. Will we be able to do VIP transport missions with the 890 jump alone? I'm not sure what you mean by alone, but you will be able to do VIP transport missions with the 890 jump in the future, and they are going to be similar, apparently, to that of the Genesis Starliner people carrier missions. I suspect they are going to be smaller amount of people, higher value, potentially worth more. I don't know. But thank you very much for all the follows and the subs. Very much appreciated. Great having you on the ZDF Ops yesterday. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks very much for having me. Very much appreciate it. There's a Brexzilla. Wow. I like that. Yes, I hope to do it again. And thank you very much for organising a load of it as well, Aldo. That was very much appreciated. I reckon the Archimedes docked at the back of the constellation will be finally playable in 3.7. No, but they do plan to have it flyable in 3.8. They answered some questions on this the other day and literally said, yeah, ship-to-ship docking. We plan to have the Parasite ability of the Constellation and Merlin, and assumedly the P-72 as well, the Archimedes, to be able to dock and undock. Hey Board, hope you've been doing well. My question is, during the November sale, do you know if we'll be able to CCU a Polaris with store credit, or will I have to use real money for the Polaris? I don't think the Polaris is a limited hull, so I believe you should be able to CCU upgrade to it and from it. Yay? Yes, Jono? Yay. The last two CitizenCons had flyable ships go on sale. Do you think we'll see the Mantis go on sale before November if it's flyable? Yes, I do. Houdini. I think they actually are trying to... they're starting to have some ships that they've got planned for either Squadron 42 or other reasons that they are able to get into concept and flyable pretty quickly. Or at least be able to do that as part of their 6 to 8 week sales model for them.
For holding our hands on this journey. Smiling face, it's all going to be alright. I agree they need to show they can finish a product. I hope they put a hard date on S42.
Morning Board, thank you for holding our hands through this journey. It's all going to be alright. I agree they need to show they can finish a product. I hope they have a hard date on Squadron 42. Yeah, me too. Mars. I just think that they're not a junior company anymore. They're 550 to 600 employees now. 74 job openings at the moment, and they need to start showing that they can potentially release a product, or they've got plans to release a product now. Yeah, do you know what I mean? No publishers is one thing, but they're effectively their own publisher, and they've started moving on to a model now where they can go, right, there's the full timeline for Squadron 42. They've got the feature complete feature complete beta for Squadron 42 planned for, what is it, Q3 2020 now? Yeah, so Q3 2020 feature complete beta is the current plans, and that could change. But so yeah, that's a full roadmap to completion for that. But they then need to say, right, well, this is the release date. And great. Like, Star Citizen starting to get there. Squadron 42 at least is starting to get there. And then there's going to be a lot more people working on that. Bedtime for Robert Johnston. No worries, buddy. You take care. Love your face. Think the Sentinel AR cockpit will come with the central module swap, or is there going to be a reason for the chassis over the others? I think that most of the parts of the Vanguards are going to be modular. The Sentinel does have an AR cockpit though, so I'm not entirely sure if that hull is slightly different and just has a less armor, or if the armor is going to be changeable, or if it's just going to be part of the central module that then allows the cockpit to use the AR stuff. So don't 100% know yet. They are making the Vanguard variants effectively more modular, though. Do you think they will ever bring back the putting on the helmet animation? I think it will be one of the animations in-game, yes. Can I post an R-rated joke here? Maybe post it to me or a mod first. Do you have any thoughts at all on old physical merchandise going away in the store and CIG changing how and what they will sell going forwards? I'm fine with them changing up merch and changing the way they do merch and adding new merch. It makes sense. They'll go through phases. I suspect they're moving on to a phase now where they are looking at Squadron 42 merchandise to help promote and go towards the sort of like a release date type thing of Squadron 42, and that's where Star Citizen's going now. It's going much more towards a more polished product. Any news on where we will see the Redeemer rework? So they've basically said with the Redeemer that it's probably still going to be Aegis. In fact, they did say that apparently at the Aegis event to people there. No word on when we're going to see it. I would expect to see it this year, either at CitizenCon or as a sort of like concept sale again. Any idea when we're going to get more items like C4, laser trip mines, and personal radar? So almost certainly going to see personal radar again. We're going to need to be able to scan people, scan for items, use it for mapping and that sort of stuff. So that's going to be coming at some point. Don't know when. C4 and other gadgets. They've wanted them in the game for ages. Years ago, they actually had some in the game, like the personal shields and that sort of stuff. They are coming back, and we should start to see them at some point. I don't have any dates on them, though. I wouldn't expect it to be too long. I would expect to see most of that stuff, if not all of it, by the end of next year. More likely by towards the sort of like middle of next year, because some of that's going to be used for Squadron 42 for sure. Why should we keep funding CIG in the project? Well, you shouldn't. I mean, all you need to do is, if you want to be part of Star Citizen, giving feedback on the actual gameplay and stuff, is buy a starter package. You don't need to fund CIG any further than that. Then just give your feedback what you actually honestly feel based on those mechanics. I wouldn't say you need to continue to fund CIG. That's madness. But continuing to give feedback on gameplay and that sort of stuff is very useful. Do you think they will fix the Reliant line of ships? There's definitely going to be balance made to the Reliant line of ships and gameplay mechanics added to them. Like the Zen doesn't have the science gameplay mechanics and exploration yet. The Mako doesn't have the news van gameplay mechanics yet. And all ships need physicalized components, and then combat and ESP and the way the ships move, and the flight model also needs tweaks and to work and be fixed. Whoever is excited for Empty Cave, you are really easy to please. I mean, I'm excited for exploring. I'm not excited for an empty cave, but I am excited for some of the stuff that 3.7's got planned for caves, which is interesting things in caves: loot, harvestables, and minables. It's because they've got harvestables and minables that it's interesting to have caves. They are not empty. And there's a secret type of cave as well. Ooh, in 3.7. CitizenCon really needs to show some Squadron 42 and jump points into new star systems. That's what I'd like to see, yes. Is CitizenCon going to have some Squadron 42 footage like you're watching? I would expect so, yes. I'd expect at least a trailer, but I'm hoping for some actual tangible gameplay. I mean, I'd even like to see the Admiral Bishop's speech reworked. I've lost my voice. Pardon me. I'd happily see like the Moritor and the Admiral Bishop speech reworked or stuff like that as well. What is the latest date that CIG can release Squadron 42 as a fully finished, fleshed out, fantastic, finalized game before they lose a lot of clout with backers and gamers and they start to lose support? I don't think there is a date. Well, within the next 3 years, I suppose, is an answer to that. As long as they communicate. They'd have to have a good reason why it's not released in the next 3 years for some reason, within the next 3 years, or even after a couple of years. Like, why isn't it released? Like, we know that you've got a roadmap to completion, which is showing Q3 2020. I'm hoping it's released in Q4 2020. And you go, madness. But, I mean, that's what it looks like they've been planning to for a while, in my opinion. Might be wrong. But I think as long as they are, like, super communicative, and they go, well, this is why, and there's good reasons, then people's sort of support and reasonableness is pretty big. Where am I? Who are you people? I was wondering if they make the docking and landing easier by like doing a 3D thing on the HUD where you can see the landing pad and hangars. Yes, so they are planning to have a low resolution 3D map that you can use to fly again, to land again in the future. They had it in the past just with landing pads, but they want it so that you can land on any surface with it. Also, there's the new IFCS Assist, which is coming in 3.7, which is replacing hover mode. Does the Vehicle HUD V4 include any new the new Gladiator display? I don't know. They are phasing in new HUDs for ships. I just don't know exactly in what order and when. But the Vehicle HUD V4 does sound like it's some of the new Gladiator display updates for other ships. Until we get server-to-client networking and server-side object container streaming, it's going to be wipes every patch. That is correct. Or very likely to be. Which keeps a lot of players from wanting to grind. Yes, I mean, there's no point in playing it more than understanding what's happening in the new system, giving some feedback, and then once you've done all the gameplay and you're sort of like, well, I'm done. There's no hook to play beyond that, unless you're in an organisation, or unless you've got a group of friends to play with, in which case you can sandbox and mess around. There's very much the role play and the sort of like game modes that you've planned out. That works very well in Star Citizen. It's got a good sandbox grasp. Diggy Dark Gaming! Have you heard anything about the physics refactor? The first I heard of it was when they pulled ship-to-ship dock for 3.7. So, they are working on the physics refactor now. I believe Chris Roberts is actually doing some coding for it. There was some stuff mentioned specifically on the physics refactor. Work on the Hull C continues, but its release is currently blocked by a few tech prerequisites, including a physics refactor that needs to be submitted to our game dev stream, as well as additional work from the engine team that will create scalable and multiple physics grids. So the Hull C is currently planned for 3.8 at the moment, the Hull C, or have they pushed it back further? So the Hull C is currently off the roadmap. That's what was about. They don't know when that physics refactor is going to be done. I would expect it to be done by 3.9. Unless there is actually a listing here. So they've got client-to-server app-to networking rework, which will make the server authoritative, which was supposed to be in 3.6. That's coming in 3.8 now. And they've got the server-to-client actor networking, which they need as well, for 4.0. So I thought we were going to be seeing the physics refactor. I still think we could potentially see it for 3.9. Yeah, that's my best guess. They're working on it. Don't know how long it's going to be. Very important for the game. What are you most excited about at the moment? CitizenCon. Like, there's so much they can show at CitizenCon. Hoping to see a new system. Hoping to see the Carrack. Hoping to see the Pisces. Hoping to see jump points. Hoping to see a Squadron 42 release date. Do you think that 30 FPS is enough of a goal for SIG, or should 60 be the floor? So it should be significantly above 60 for the floor, in my opinion. The reason I've got a 144 Hz monitor and it's overclocked to 165-ish Hz is because I want more frames than that. So the floor should really be 60, in my opinion. The server's going to be 30 tick, though, which is different. So will CitizenCon have Squadron 42 gameplay? Like, we talked about that already. What happened to the plans to let players give their ship custom paint jobs? So, let's just read the rest of your question first. If that is still planned, then why are there some identical ships sold separately with different paint schemes? So some paint jobs or special editions of ships have these different paint schemes. The 300 series, you can actually go onto the website now, and you can use the customizer to actually customize them before you buy. And there are skins also sold that you can put onto ships. There's going to be those systems in game as well eventually, so you'll be able to, when you buy a ship in game, at point of purchase, you'll be able to have your ship customized and how you want directly from the manufacturer. Also, there's going to be aftermarket customization, allowing you a lot more sort of like customization, exactly how your ship looks and decals on your ship and that sort of stuff. Coming, not in the game yet. Will players be able to own planets or moons? You're going to be able to purchase land claims for lawful areas of space to have them recognised as your piece of land, and then people on your land claims are going to be treated as trespassers, and if they don't get off in a certain amount of time, or you'll ask them to get off or whatever, then they'll be seen as criminals. And the law will come along and sort them out, or they'll get fines or whatever. In the more Wild West areas of the game where there's no law, people will be able to say they own planets and moons, and be able to defend them however they want. Potentially, I suppose, enough people could get land claims together to own a planet or moon in lawful space, but that's unlikely to happen. Are there any specific reasons the Taurus and the Cutlass Blue are being pushed back? Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure about the Taurus and why it's been pushed back again, but maybe they need it for something and they're working on bits for it. But the Cutlass Blue has been moved back because the brand new Defender was taking longer than expected, and they basically said, well, we have to push back the Cutlass Red or the Cutlass Blue. The Cutlass Red is needed for the Squadron 42, so they prioritised the Defender and the Cutlass Red over the Cutlass Blue. So the Cutlass Blue is moved back to 3.9 now. Do you ever get time or desire to play other space sims like Elite? Not really. Occasionally play Eve still. I play like PlanetSide 2. I play loads of Apex Legends. I play some Overwatch. I play a lot. I'm playing Gears 5 at the moment a little bit. Any idea when we'll get rotating VTOL thrusters back on the Cutlass again? That was nice while it lasted. I actually think we might get them with the 3.7. There's supposed to be a toggle button that turns VTOL thrusters downwards. Are there any solo or small crew ships planned for science and farming? So science, there's the Reliant Zen. The 315p, maybe. It can only farm in the Endeavour. Well, you can only have biodome farming in the Endeavour. There's going to be harvestables and that sort of stuff still on planets. And I believe the plan is to be able to change topsoil on planets and have outposts where you can literally farm. You can place an outpost down and then farm next to it. Is there anything planned like the Prospector for solo farming? A farming ship that is purely for farming on a smaller scale than the Endeavour is not a bad idea. But also I would expect to see potentially vehicles and ships that have some farming, research, gathering, harvesting sort of potentially light exploration vibes going on in the future, yeah? Do you think we're actually going to see the Defender on this next quarter patch? I mean, they can't delay it again, can they? Well, they can. Yes, I do. Have I got a bit of an echo? Apologies if I do. Any ballpark on the cost of the Pisces? Probably $45? $50? I don't know, is the unfortunate answer. Some people have said the Pisces, it might be able to carry, like, a rover. It's like, oh, maybe it's going to be able to carry the Anvil rover. No, sorry. Scratch the Anvil rover. The Urza rover. Can you give me a link on how the hell to install my Thrustmaster joystick with target working with Star Citizen? No, I cannot. Well, I can look for it. Reddit's your best bet. That's what I'd look. Have you heard when they're going to release the Drake Corsair in game? Thank you for all you do. No, I haven't. But the Drake Corsair, the Drake pipeline is one of the most developed ship pipelines, and I wouldn't expect it to be too long. 4.1, 4.2 sort of thing, potentially. Not a huge ship. Oh, thank you very much, Fret Wizard. Very much appreciated. Oh, you star. Thank you very much for the raid, Mac. Sorry, it's taken me 15 minutes to realise that you've raided me. I'm literally the worst. Love you, JP, Sandman. What is the coming soon thing from the RSI site today? Let's have a look. Coming soon. There's a picture. Okay, so let's bring this up. I don't actually know. We got this. We got the RSI website, and it says coming soon. And there's a picture of what appears to be a constellation there, going into the unknown. Yeah. And then it says coming soon, and there's now a picture of a caterpillar. Banner teaser logo. Banner teaser logo. And then inspect. What do we got? Anything interestingly named here? That's a pirate caterpillar. Transmission coming soon. Anything interesting here? No. No, nothing I can see interesting there. Well, something. Banner teaser. So got this symbol. What do you think? I have no idea what that is. I'm excited for it though. This is the level of teaser I want. It's like, what's this? What's procedural asteroids going on? Yeah, procedural asteroids. This is around Yella, I would assume. Grimhex Yella. Don't know what it is though. Like genuinely don't know. Like I don't. It's not like oh I do know, but no I don't. Is PG Tips the best, or is there something more British I could try? Well, PG Tips is probably the sort of like mid-range British teabag. I have some organic, non-bleached tea bags, which I can't remember what they're called, which I constantly buy. Earl Grey is probably pretty British as well. And then you can pretend you're like Jean-Luc Picard, though he's French, isn't he? Do you think Face Over IP has wasted a full year of development for a lot of key developers? No, it was made. Most of Face Over IP stuff was made by Faceware. Maybe a prime example of CIG prioritizing the wrong stuff. No, I don't think so. Had some devs working on it for integration, obviously, but I mean it's an important part of the game, and they want it, and it's not right, and it's not working properly yet. Can the Vanguard Sentinel do any actual damage with its standard loadout? So they did say that it was all distortion weapons, didn't they? So you can probably entirely disable a ship with it. How practical is distortion weapons? Not very practical at the moment. In the future, you will be able to entirely disable a ship for a long period of time, cause like systems and stuff to short out, burn out, and that sort of stuff. When we have physicalized components is one of the ideas, without damaging the ship too much. Very less than lethal, very sort of like turn those systems off Much better for if you're trying to salvage or capture a ship. What do you think the minimum viable product for Star Citizen and Squadron 42? What? I mean, the minimum viable product for Squadron 42 is on the roadmap currently. There needs to be sort of like a campaign with at least 25 to 40 hours of gameplay. There needs to be a great space sim first-person shooter that rivals that of a AAA game without being terrible. You know, has to get sort of 90 out of 100 plus, 9 out of 10 plus. That's minimum viable product for Squadron 42 Episode 1, in my opinion. Star Citizen is a little bit sort of more, it doesn't really have a minimum viable product listed yet, or planned yet. It's just going to keep on releasing every 3 months until it's in a better state, and then they'll talk when it's a bit more fleshed out. They'll say, well, now it's ready. They've got this very, very aggressive sort of agile development that they use to iterate on features now rather than plan them out fully. So what I mean by that is that you'll have the repair mechanics or the salvage mechanics. They will go, what do we need for the first implementation of salvage? And then we'll take it from there based on feedback and iteration. You said that the space combat was best in 2.6.3. It's when I enjoyed it the most. Doesn't actually mean it was the best, but it's when I enjoyed and played it the most. What did you like about it and what's changed since then? It was competitive. I could fly around without everyone lagging around. It felt relatively balanced. Smaller ships were able to evade really well, but you could still take them out. But you could still be competitive against someone in a heavier fighter. Skill trumped most things. It just felt good. It felt balanced. It's a while ago now, so it's harder to remember. But ESP wasn't terrible. I could aim. It was incredibly skill-based, so there's no auto-aiming or anything like that either. When do you think the Kraken will show up in game? Depends what they need it for, but as I said, the Drake pipeline's pretty refined. I'd expect to see it potentially at the end of next year. Do you have any idea if there will be small cruise ships? We talked about that already. 2014 and 2015, in an interview with Chris Roberts, he said that if you have $1,000 in one ship or $1,000 in many ships, they would all have LTI. Is that still correct? No. So you can buy ships with lifetime insurance if a ship costs $1,000 or more, excluding tax. Then it has lifetime insurance. Some ships are sold just with lifetime insurance as well, separately from that. Typically, war bonds or concept ships and new ships. Be careful when you fly your A90 jump. There is a shield expert. Yes, I know. There is shield holes and shield problems with the ship. People self-destructing causes problems. What is it that is included in cave loot? Not 100% sure because it's not in our hands yet, but we know it's going to be FPS minables and harvestables. So harvestables, minables, which you can, the minables specifically, using a multi-tool and a mining attachment on it. You can mine those things out of that. I would expect that we'd see other rare things that we can pick up by hand that are just in caves. We know that there are harvestables above ground, so like a mixture of dung, fruit, lots of stuff like that that's going to be in 3.7. So there could be some more things underground as well. Mushrooms, for example. But also, I think it's very likely that we will see FPS weapons and gear and that sort of stuff pick upable as well. Keep on board. Thank you very much for Pine. Thank you very much for the donation. I love you. You absolute fucking legend. And Eduardo BR. I'll call you BR from now on. Ed. Or Ed. Actually, that's better. Greetings. Just want to help with the PC build. It will look nice with the 2080 Ti that you already got. Keep up the good work. Love you from Brazil. Yes. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. The 2080 Ti I've got might be a little bit broken. But as a tech, an EVGA may be sending me a 2080 Ti as well, which I will switch over to, which will be absolutely fucking fantastic, and will look even better than the one I've currently got, and, you know, work better. There's lots of artifact glitching that I'm getting, unfortunately, so I might have to send it back, this one. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to doing a Ryzen build. So, there's a slight... Well, there's not a change in the Ryzen build, but I am going to also be doing some research into the Threadrippers that are potentially coming out within the next month as well, and I might change it over from getting that Ryzen 3950 over to a Threadripper, one of the new Threadrippers, but I'll keep people informed with that. It's obviously a very small change, which might be a bit more expensive, and obviously well, I'll have a look and I'll talk about it and whatever. Musia, oh, thank you very much. You were playing with me last night. Was there Musa? Thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Oh, Fairbairn, you gave me loads of money. I didn't realise it was so much. Thank you so much. Oh God, Red Wizard, I love you. I love you all. Thank you very much for the host, Shepherd. Very much appreciated. Yeah, so I'm typically a good few minutes behind on the chat. But at the moment, I'm like 18 minutes behind. So sorry. Let's power through some of these. What changes do you think are coming to the Aegis Retaliator bomber? So they actually talked about this. You're probably going to be able to slave the turrets and automate some of the turrets with AI modules, which would be great. They potentially might be putting more torpedoes in it and having a rotary torpedo launcher, and then the rest of their changes you'll see just from general balance. That's the expectation at the moment. RSI Mantis already? I don't think so, but it could be. I would expect the RSI Mantis, once the Nautilus finishes being on sale, maybe a few days, and then the RSI Mantis will almost... Yeah, that'd be my expectation. Probably for the rest of the year, you'll see a ship concept or straight to flyable every 6 weeks or so. So, I mean, Star Citizen is the core example of what happens when a game gets a huge amount of money and doesn't have a publisher. They sort of like, but is community driven. So it's expanded out in a way that is taking a huge amount of time, and they can just, you know, basically do what Valve does and go, we'll release when we're fucking ready, if we want to release. This sort of thing. When Star Citizen has to release, it doesn't have the infinite money that Valve does, and the ability to go, we're not going to release. So Star Citizen needs to. So, but you see what I mean? It can generate money just by updating the alpha and just continuing to plod along. So there's some great points to that. Hopefully we'll get a great game from it, and they won't have to monetize it with loot boxes or bullshit beyond, you know, ship sales. And then those will effectively end. But there are huge downsides to it as well, which is a huge development arc and redoing and reworking of stuff. Is the Freelancer getting a makeover? Beyond its thrusters being able to turn down, I don't think so. Or potentially being able to turn down. And general sort of like... all ships are going to get very light reworks and tweaks and materials updates and things like that as they go forward. And then obviously huge amounts of balance. Do you think there will be a flight-ready ship announced at CitizenCon? Yes. Probably something from Anvil, seeing that's supposed to be the sponsor, but we could see some other stuff as well. Do you think the ship could be the Mercury Star Runner? There could. So I do think that we could see the Mercury Star Runner as like a secret ship that they've been working on in the next 3 quarters or so. I mean, that is something I'm pulling out my ass, but it's because the Hercules Star Runner is planned for 4.0, and I was expecting... Sorry, the Starlifter. The Hercules Starlifter. And I was expecting the Mercury Star Runner to be done before that. If Ranger bikes won't fit in a 325A standing up, will we be able to lay them on the side to put it in them? Maybe. Don't 100% know until we have them in our hands and how they lock into a physics grid. else have we got? Can I use this question tag to say thanks for all you do to keep us up to date, even if I disagree with you concerning hover mode? Also, can I say keep on veining awesome? Keep on being awesome. Be spelled it with a V. V and awesome. Thank you very much, Eric. Yeah, and people are more than welcome to disagree with me on some of my thoughts for... in fact, I encourage it, the thoughts on mechanics and stuff that I like or don't like. I represent myself. I'm not even a mouthpiece for my own community. I represent my thoughts on mechanics, and I encourage everyone else to do the same in a civil manner. So give your feedback, talk about stuff. If you want to talk about it with me on stream or off stream, whatever, happy to as well. Obviously not all the fucking time. I don't have that much time in the world. But when I'm on stream and stuff, I love talking about this sort of stuff. And you definitely don't have to agree with me. In fact, it's cool to be wrong, in my opinion. I like understanding other people's points of view and other people's viewpoints. And I don't mind being wrong. I will talk to you about my thought process and why I've come to that. Sometimes my thought process is, I reckon that's good. Why? I'm not really sure. I just kind of like it. Sometimes it is as flimsy as that. Where am I reading the comments from? So there's no match because I'm quite a long time behind. But I typically take questions from Discord, Reddit, Twitch, YouTube, and direct message. And email, I suppose, as well. I occasionally check my emails. With the status of scheduled still, do you think the Cutlass Red will also get pushed back again? No. Well, it's possible, but I don't think so. Where is the room system on the roadmap? They're working on it as part of various other things. It's important as part of the player status system to be able to track all of that. I suspect it will appear on the roadmap, probably in one of the patches we already have at some point. So probably 4.0. Oh, and it's good to mention, yeah, that some of that room system stuff is already in-game. Explosive decompression isn't. Proper pressurization of systems, of rooms isn't. But they are working towards that. I am a beluga whale gamer, that is true. I look like an egg from the side and the front. And a beluga whale. So you have to fucking deal with that. As far as I know, anyone that I talk to doesn't even fucking have a face. David Deuce, good morning, board. Thank you very much. And Direwolf, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. I'm 17 minutes behind on chat. 1 minute. I've gained a minute. Any chance that the Star Runner is going to be released at CitizenCon? There's a possibility. They haven't talked about building it. They haven't said anything about it beyond a long time ago. They said they wanted to have it done before the Hercules Star Runner, Starlifter, but they may have changed and reprioritized that now. You ever play the game? Yeah, I play quite regularly. I even play on stream quite often now. Maybe it just means Star Citizen is coming soon. Oh my fucking god. I'm glad people that were there with Rexilla Ops and ZDF last night enjoyed it. I'm hoping to join Rex more often whenever he thinks it's appropriate to have me. Hopefully I'll be less tired and a bit more able to use VoIP in-game. What are your thoughts on Brexit? So my genuine thoughts is that we're in the worst possible situation for Brexit for me, which is uncertainty. I either want Brexit or I don't want Brexit, but I don't want to be left in limbo. What's better for the country financially, in my opinion, would be if we had another referendum and stayed with Europe. Although if we leave Europe, even with a hard exit, the country would then be able to recover from that and be able to probably get some pretty good deals out of America, Russia, China, Asia, India, all that sort of block, and then eventually work better trade deals with Europe even in the future. However, Europe do need to punish us if we leave the European Union, because Otherwise, all the member states will leave the European Union if we look like we're doing better out of the European Union. So it's an interesting situation to be in. It's shit financially for everyone involved currently in the UK because it's just uncertainty and it just damages the economy constantly day on day. That's my thoughts on it. I don't notice that distortion weapons do anything at all. What should I be saying? You should see them getting worked on and working in the future. The distortion weapons were bugged. Was my mic in view? There you go. Apologies. 32 gigs of RAM is actually pretty good for games on your main PC if you're also having loads of tabs open and stuff like that. So at the moment, for example, I actually closed a load of my tabs, but I am using about 4 gigs of RAM. No, more than that. About 8 gigs of RAM on Google Chrome. So there's multiple things coming up with it. About 8 gigs of RAM on just Google Chrome tabs. So I have 64 gigs of RAM because I use it for video editing and that sort of stuff. Osri, thank you very much. The sub, and Direwolf, already thanked you anyway, but I will fucking thank you again. Thank you very much for the subs. Very much appreciated. What else have we got? Have you looked at Infinity Battlescape? I backed it a while ago. I will be looking at it in more detail very soon. And I might even put some stuff on the channel or do it on stream. Before bringing in new big ships, I think they will refine their multi-crew gameplay first. Yeah, and they've got plans to refine it on the roadmap as well. Already. Okay. Has there been any word on farming? Harvesting and gathering is going to be in 3.7, and then they're going to iterate on that. I think that will actually build into the farming mechanic in the future. The guy in the vertical slicer does the cartwheel. Yeah, so when they're in the sort of like where they're freezing people in cryosleep for like the slavers, when the AI it's always been pretty fucking buggy for Star Citizen. And they in Squadron 42 they just sort of had the AI that were really buggy and not working properly in the vertical slice. But he's like shoots him, and his death animation is him cartwheeling away. It's really weird. Yeah, I believe that Infinity Battlescape is supposed to come on early access on Steam really soon, in fact, if not already. You said in the last AMA that you think we might see Vandal first-person combat, I think. In what way do you mean? I think we'll see Vandal on foot at CitizenCon, punching people, stabbing them, and that sort of stuff, and a player actually playing and engaging them. GR, have you heard any details on the M50 updates that have popped back on the roadmap next year? I believe it's cockpit, some light reworks, and the landing gear compression that they're doing for the ship. And then making it work better as a racer. Do you have heard the leaks about Carrack? Yes. I mean, we talked a while about... So, in June... In May, I did a video talking about what I expect to see at CitizenCon. And it was the Carrack and a new star system and that sort of stuff, because it makes sense in a progressive sort of fashion. That's what they'd be showing this year, because... it's some of the main things they need to get done for the game. And yeah, so I expect that the leaks from Star Citizen leaks are pretty accurate with that. That seems sensible. That we'll see a Carrack at CitizenCon. Have you ever watched Stargate Atlantis? Yes, I loved it. If so, would bounty hunting be better served by using the beam capture tech that the Wraith used? Easier than stunning and dragging a body around. I think we're just going to drag people. We might get... So they've got the drone stretchers they're going to be used for the... Help me out here with the name of that medical ship. The Apollo. My voice went as well. The Apollo Triage and the Apollo whatever the fuck it's called. So I suspect that there'll be drones that people use to just float behind them that take people around. Any news about the Gladiator? No, but I would expect it to get some, you know, balance and updates in the future, like the same as everyone else, and lighting and materials updates as well. Thank you, BoredGamer. You answered my question before you even seen it. No worries, J-Pad. I hope you're doing well as well, mate. Have we heard if they plan to use the cave and station tech to make dynamic asteroid base with a mixture of rocky and manable interiors? I believe we will see asteroid bases in the game, yes. And I suspect they will use a mixture of the cave system and station tech to do that. In fact, I expect that's what they were talking about when they said they were going to have prisons in-game. I do expect we will see caves underground in prisons, but I also suspect we'll see caves in asteroids that will be used for prison tech and stuff like that as well. It's actually something I didn't want to talk about until someone else brought it up, because I didn't want to look like I had insider information or something. Because that does seem like it's going to be a thing. Probably have the prisons in asteroids, or at least there will be asteroid cave prisons. Would you consider doing an updated best trade apps review? Yes. What I'll do is every time we have a new patch, after about a week, I will do a... And this is how to make money. This is a trade apps or useful stuff, or this is how to cargo haul in the latest patch or something like that. And I'll include the best trade apps in that, Siegfried. What's with the coming soon thing with CIG? We don't know, so let me show this on the screen for you. So, on this page, we have a post just saying coming soon. And there's a picture of what appears to be a constellation. But then you click on it. And you click on it. And there's a picture of a caterpillar pirate. Pirate caterpillar. And this. For some reason this makes me think that it's an organization features thing. I don't know. Guilds in Star Citizen, factions in Star Citizen, organizations. Maybe it's asteroid bases. Fuck it. Who knows? I am having a good Monday. Thank you very much, old boy. I literally, once I finish stream, I will... I've got the Rexilla highlights and gameplay from yesterday all ready to go. I will literally just make it go live after I'm done on stream. Looking down the road, what talk, if any, has been done around marine life, water, marine biomes, scuba gear, underwater vehicles, etc. So, not too much. They've talked about lots of stuff like they'd like to have and what they plan to have. We know we're going to have swimming in the not too distant future. They want to have wave simulation. They want to have some form of exploration with water, but we're not entirely sure what. They've previously talked about buoyancy and ships being able to be buoyant in the water, and potential for boats and that sort of stuff, and potential for water exploration. But we don't know exactly what. It is not the most important thing, in my opinion, but it is good to have in the game eventually. Will Squadron 42 be open world? No, it will be a large-scale world, but you are in the military. It is narrative-driven. Obviously, we have far more ships and ground vehicles than first planned. Do you think they will cap at this at some point or keep pushing out new ships? I think they will potentially slow down on putting ships and vehicles out in the future, especially once they've got Squadron 42 Episode 1 out and Star Citizen probably in a state where it's got permanent persistence. They'll potentially slow down with those concept ships and stuff like that. They'll probably go, as they said, they wanted to do a straight to flyable model and push out less ships, but they will be straight to bam, this is out now, bam, this is out now. Maybe every like 3 months or so. There's no reason for them to ever stop entirely with new ships. How was the PvP experience with Roxilla? A good laugh. Lots of stuff I would do differently in the future. I need to get my VoIP working consistently and things like that. Really good fun though. I'm hoping to join him again, or hoping to join him reasonably regularly. Good laugh. Good chaps. All of the DDF guys. Do you think that RSI Hint will be the RSI Lynx rover because of the calling of Dev episode? They said it'd be around mid-2019. What? Oh, we are supposed to get the Lynx rover, aren't we? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be the RSI Mantis that's going to be the next concept ship. It could be the Lynx rover. That's a possibility as well. What YouTuber was saying I'd make a how to make money in 3.6 video, but you can't. It's probably the Salty Michael Eradicator. That's my expectation. Star Citizen is currently 3.6.2 is the live patch. And we should have the 3.7 patch live by the end of this month. And I'm expecting to see Evacardi patch go live at the end of this week. No, it go to Evacardi at the end of this week is what I mean by that. Apparently coming soon is a multi-day picture reveal. The HTML code says RSI K-lists, which might be the Mantis. Oh. How did the opera with Rex go? Fucking fantastic. It's hilarious. Good fun. There's stuff that I can do better in the future. I realised I could probably be a bit more boisterous with them as well. They're good chaps. I did try and troll Rex a few times, which I felt back guilty for afterwards. Do you think there will be mermaid aliens? No. You can call anything a mermaid. We used to call manatees mermaids, and they're just sea cows, mate. Do you think the coming soon is implementation of modularity for the caterpillar? Well, the original pictures, there's also a picture of the constellation there as well, so... I'd love to be in a squad with Bored and Rex. Well, maybe if you join, one of us is playing on stream, then you'll be able to. I might stream next time I play with him or whatever. But I'll get more and more involved in the community, make some videos, do some streams, and get people involved with my community to be able to be part of that as well. Do you know if the Retaliator bomber will have the same modular compartments the Retaliator base was advised to have? You should be able to change out the torpedo bays in the Retaliator bomber. Push out fewer ships, not less. Hurrah! How do you feel about the caves having fake sourceless lighting to make navigation easier? I think it's fine as long as it looks good. It's for the game. It's all good. I'm about gameplay and stuff looking cool over realism. Bit of realism doesn't need to be full realism. It makes sense. Do you think the Mantis will... How much do you think the Mantis will sell for? And how big do you think it will be? Between $120 to $180. I think it's... Was it 30 meters it's supposed to be? Heavy fighter. That's what the expectation is. Do you think you'll be able to spread marmalade in Star Citizen once the game gets fully fleshed out? Fuck it, why not? They had some pictures of food, and people eating food and stuff recently. I went, how in depth is eating gonna be in Star Citizen? So fucking maybe. Why slow down parts of rapid Star Citizen development when others have slower dev cycles? Makes no sense. Huh? People that finish their work will polish a task and then move on to something else. It's basically they're doing the overlapping staggered development so that they have more time to do the features they say they're going to do for each individual patch to a higher level of completion and polish. Not all caves will have artificial light. Well, what they did say is there were going to be this sort of like, even in pitch black caves, there'd be some sort of like lighty type things. You know what I mean? Like you could still see glimmer or whatever they fucking called it. I can't remember what they called it. It's not. I'm not talking about artificial lights, but they are having it so it's not pitch black. It's just very, very dark. You'll see hints of things. And some caves are going to have lighting from like glowworms or whatever. Some are going to have artificial man-made lights. Some it's going to be mostly your torch. Now, how much do you think the modular variants will cost in game, as in to swap them out? In what sense? For what ship? Modular parts for different ships are going to cost different amounts of money and vary hugely. Also, Star Citizen will eventually have a dynamic economy, and the modules are going to be, and bits for them are going to be based on supply and demand, and then resources of how much it costs to make them, time it costs to make them, availability, all that sort of jazz. Cooking as a profession might be a thing. I mean, it's definitely going to be a profession for NPCs, selling stuff, and maybe, fuck it, maybe some food gives you little boosts and bonuses. How many caves do you think they'll have per planet, per moon? Moon planet. Maybe a dozen per moon or planet. That's the Idris carrier. So, let's talk about some stuff. So we don't know what that coming soon thing is yet. But I want to talk a little bit about the roadmap roundup from last week. So there was a huge amount on ships last week, and I've done a video on that if people want to have a look at that. We do know that ship rentals are planned for 3.7, which is good. They needed to get it in 3.3, but we're having it for 3.7 a year later. It's fine. I'm not too bitter about that. And the Cutlass Blue has moved to 3.8 because the Bandit Defender has been taking more time. They will be getting the Bandit Defender out, obviously. Well, we assume. And then they're prioritising the Cutlass Red after that. The Hull C needs a load of fucking tech to come together, and they're still working on it. So the Hull C is planned for completion for Squadron 42's needs for Q4 this year, but they still need to do more stuff for it to get it into the persistent universe. Ship-to-ship docking, when that comes, they can have, apparently, the Parasite docking with the Constellations. Fucking win. There is a physics refactor going on as well. In the meantime, which is part of some of the stuff with the Hull C, but also ship-to-ship docking. And they talked about some of like the Electron sniper rifle has got a new damage type associated with it and is moving to 3.9. They need to do some more work on that. I'm really liking the way they do these roadmap roundups, because basically this is what it is. They give a little. These are some notable changes that are on the roadmap, bam. And then you can read the roadmap as well to give you some more sort of like context for that. But it gives you a lot better idea of what CIG were thinking with a lot of stuff. So that's made me a lot more excited about a lot of the stuff in the project. We got some helmets and stuff that were going out to subscribers, as well as a new set of helmets which you can purchase if you're a subscriber, but you don't get them for free, which is weird. So, for me, I'm thinking about not subscribing, and then only subscribing when I want to buy a big glut of subscriber flair, because they're $4 for each pair of helmets. Yeah. What else do we have? Anything interesting? Last week they talked about salvage, quantum fuel mining, FPS mining. So we're going to have the FPS mining in 3.7. Might even be able to find quantum fuel stuff in 3.7 as well, which looks to be a solid object now that you mine, which is weird, but still refine in the Staff era eventually. Well, we need to know more about that going forward. We know that they're working on the prison system, more law system improvements, in-game orgs and reputation systems, which is something I think could be, this coming soon thing could be about that. Bounty hunting has moved to 3.9 in its entirety, with loads and loads and loads, well, I say bounty hunting in its entirety, all the sort of like new updates for it for PvP and NPC bounty hunting and new armors and stuff like that for it. Anything else I wanted to talk about specifically? I got the ship showdown thing. So TIG have got this ship showdown promotion at the moment where they're wanting you to sort of share screenshots and artwork and videos and stuff with hashtags SC Ship Showdown, and then based on the amount and stuff they get from them, they're going to whittle it down to 16 ships that they think are the most popular, and then they're going to have some sort of competition between them, and then they're going to have the top 4 ones. And the top 4 ones, they're going to have some cool stuff happen with them later this year. So I suspect what will happen is they'll have a promotion either at CitizenCon, the sale associated with CitizenCon, the expo sale, or towards Christmas. That's going to be like the Masters of Flight series when they had the Renegade and and all those sort of ships. So they had 4 ships then, which they released loadout variants for. That's actually a really cool little Lego hammerhead. I love that. That's cute. Some pretty fucking cool things here. Nice. Someone's got a Vandal tattoo. I'd get a Star Kitten tattoo if I could get enough money together. Fuck me. Might do it for charity, actually, something like that. Anything else I wanted to talk about? CitizenCon. Yeah, I am thinking we'll see the Squadron 42 release date, some Squadron 42 stuff, FPS Vandal, potentially some aliens, whether they be animals or other aliens on the ground. The persistent universe, jump points, new system, the Carrack, Pisces, and then obviously a huge amount of cool stuff during the day, like Tony Zurovic giving speeches on shit. We do know there's an RSI ship or vehicle in the not too distant future going on concept sale, and it could be the an RSI rover, but I'm thinking it's probably the RSI Mantis that was leaked a while ago, heavy fighter. No, that's the main stuff I wanted to talk about. What else we got question-wise? Thanks, Nick the Grizzly. Much appreciated. Thanks for all the follows as well. And the subs. What's my favourite ship? Changes very regularly. I've got a lot of the love for the Carrack, for the Sabre, for the Orion, for the Venom Merchantman, for the Javelin, for the Endeavour. Pretty much all the industrial ships and economy ships. You could call it board sellout. Yeah, fuck I kid. Chris Roberts tattoo on your forehead. I don't think any amount of money could make me do that. Well, actually, an amount of money could. Do you play any other games? Yes. Lots of games. So recently I've been playing lots of Apex Legends, Overwatch, mostly Apex Legends. But I play like Payday 2, I play lots of strategy games. Frostpunk, I'm going to need to play the expansion of that at some point. I'm very good at strategy games. What else? I mean, I'll take a look at any game that comes out. So I've been playing Gears 5 recently. Where do you see the battlecruiser sitting in terms of size compared to other capital ships? So you'd have it larger than a Javelin, basically. But you wouldn't have it much bigger or anything, I wouldn't say. Are you looking forward to the recently announced Homeworld 3? Yes, Homeworld was one of the games I played a lot when I was younger and loved it. Hland, Matador, say hello and good sir. Thank you very much, Hland. I'm pretty org neutral, and I'm always on my channel. I allow people to discuss their opinions and be civil, which is one of the reasons I always got on quite well with the Matadors, because obviously they get a lot of chip for being bad boys or being a bit dickish or whatever. But you know, neutral. Fuck you. Starting Destiny 2 on Steam October 1st. Was told like Star Citizen Spectrum. Any advice? What? I don't know what you mean. So yeah, October 1st. Destiny 2 and the new expansion pack Shadowkeep, I think it's called, comes out on Steam. You can go onto your Bungie account and actually transfer your Destiny 2 account over. Everything previous to Shadowkeep, I believe, is entirely free for anyone that wants to play, which is a huge amount of Destiny 2 content. Take my shekels, BG. Thank you very much, Technotoad. Technotoad. Very much appreciated. And I will be playing Destiny 2 as well again. Like, I liked it very much. When we vetted a fleshed out universe and water plants, what if any ships will be able to work in oceans, etc.? They wanted buoyancy for ships. There's potential there's going to be boats in Star Citizen as well. I just worked out how to use Twitch's block for the first time. Okay. Did I make a fatal mistake when I upgraded my Super Hornet into a Vanguard and then upgraded my Avenger into a Super Hornet out of regret? Alright. You can get everything in game, so it's not really a mistake because you can always melt stuff if you don't like it. I wouldn't keep on buying or upgrading, because you can get this stuff in game. Right, do we have... Always enjoy your content. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. I love the fact I've got a pretty civil community from lots of different orgs and lots of different people. And I will demand respect for each other! Which is why I think we get much better conversation when some people's ideas are challenged and you do it civilly. You go, well, tell me what you think about this. Or, this is what I think. Oh, you don't have to think that. Cool, you think this. That's cool. I don't agree with that. But I'm not going to fucking browbeat you or anything. So I think that the chat over the years that I've done YouTube and streaming and stuff has got better and better and better on my channel. And I really, really like being able to talk and engage with people. Yeah. I really like this. I really like being able to talk about Star Citizen. I really like people wanting to watch me talk about Star Citizen. I really enjoyed doing the turtle release the other day and playing with Rexilla yesterday, and this week again we will do a United Jump party, and we'll do some gameplay associated with that. I'm going to steal some of Rexilla's ideas with some ops, see if we can do them without much organisation. He seemed to do that with a huge amount of organisation, but he's got people like key members in place that then get a lot of stuff done quite quickly and easily. So just go bam, next stop, bam. It looks effortless, but there's quite a lot of structure in place. What are your favourite strategy games, and which ones would you recommend for co-op play, not PvP? I don't really know about co-op strategy games. Like, some of my favourite ones used to be Age of Mythology and Command & Conquer Generals, even the Command & Conquer Generals expansion pack, original Red Alert. I'm not too... obviously, Frostpunk is hugely awesome at the moment. A co-op one. I know some of the... They'll probably be remaking Warcraft 3 anytime soon. I don't know. I don't know for co-op strategy games. Probably things like, if you like Civilization builds, and Civ 6 is probably pretty good for that. Any idea when you'll next stream some gameplay? I massively enjoyed your Turtle Liberating Adventure. So I'm planning to do another gameplay session this week. I'll work it out probably tomorrow when I do it and post it on my Discord. I might even do 2 this week. I'll see if I even see if I can join Rexilla on his stream again next Sunday and see if he wants to do an up or whatever. I might stream or record that again. I melted pretty much of all my fleet for a Nautilus this morning and immediately regretted it. Now I'm crying in my pants till I can change it. Have you ever regretted a ship purchase? Yeah, so I regret any form of purchase. I have sort of like anxiety and guilt about anything that I buy that I don't need. So I justified like buying stuff for Star Citizen because it's effectively business expenses and I'll make content on it. So anytime I really want something like actually I'll be able to get like 50,000 views out of buying this ship and then lots of other content out of it, it's worth buying or not worth buying or whatever. So, and I better get anything in game as well that I want pretty easily because I'll be able to play Star Citizen for huge amounts of time every day. Hearts of Iron 2 and Hearts of Iron 4 are both fantastic. Yeah, Hearts of Iron 4 is a great idea. Heavy Bob. Hearts of Iron 4 is one of my favourite World War II strategy games. There's Axis, Brazil and stuff. Interesting things. You can play that co-op, play that not co-op, you play that maddening, huge, sort of like sprawling multiplayer games. Will 3.7 be adding any persistence, or is it just caves and some hand mining? I don't believe it's adding any deeper persistence. However, they did say in the not too distant future, potentially with 3.7, though I think it's unlikely, that they potentially might be able to start saving people's Alpha UBC and ship changes on their account between patches. But there wasn't really a we can do this now sort of thing. I'm expecting that for the end of the year, but you think the new Mantis is going to cause rebalancing with other heavy fighters like the Vanguard? Eventually, yes. All these ships are going to be rebalanced, so anything they add into the game will affect balance and tweaking. Also in co-op strat game is Northgard, though it's skirmish only, it's super rewarding. Okay, cool. I think I've got a copy of Northgard. I'll check that out. Yeah, I would like co-op, XCOM, or is Phoenix Point co-op or anything like that? Should come play Hearts of Iron with my Road 256 server board. Oh, Road to 56. Okay, yeah. So, at some point, Heavy Bob, I when I've got free time, I'm happy to do that. Obviously, it takes like at least a weekend really to play. I don't know what we can talk about it. It'd be interesting to know what speed settings and stuff you set for it because I'd be up for that at some point, definitely. Would be amazing if they sneaked persistence for money and purchase items in 3.7. I don't think they will. I mean, I think it's optimistic to think it's going to be in 3.8 for the end of the year, but it's possible. Anyone have tips for hover mode, or as I call it, death flight? Yes, so you can press right shift on your keyboard, and that will keep your ship from being able to pitch and move, to toggle that on and off. So you can actually fly much more stably without sort of like aggressively helicoptering forward or backwards or whatever, or moving erratically. 3.7 as well is going to replace hover mode or phase it into ICF assist, which should be significantly easier to fly because it's going to automatically scale down your speed of your thrusters as you get closer to the ground. So you fly with more precision and less crashy. There's going to be an optional toggle to have your VTOL thrusters be able to point down as well in 3.7 apparently, which should be good as well. But yeah. Right. Board, considering that CIG have admitted they've made a mistake with hover mode, do you think that they will cave into other mistakes they've put into the game, like auto-aim on ships, and reverse them in the future? I think they'll balance auto-aim. I think that it's important that Star Citizen has a strong skill floor as well as a huge skill ceiling. And I think that if they tone down auto-aim, that they can actually have something that works there for people that are terrible at fucking aiming. But it needs to be done right. And at the moment, it's far too OP and stupid. Like the things that you could do with it as well, like maybe it takes longer to lock, maybe it's got a very small angular sort of lock on. If you EMP or if you E-warfare them, it just totally loses lock. Things like that. There's lots of stuff they could do in addition to making it less super laser auto aim death. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree that it's super OP at the moment. But yes, CIG make mistakes. They are iterating on the game to, change those mistakes, improve the mistakes. Not improve the mistakes, but get rid of the mistakes, get better gameplay out there, do stuff right. And yeah, they do make mistakes. They also said that in the same episode that auto gimbals will get balancing changes. Good. Perfect. I think that once we have the ability to use fixed weapons on ships with ESP, combat, aiming, balances, all that sort of stuff working, the flight model like in a good place, that auto gimbals would be less powerful because you'll be able to, fly past them and hit them more accurately with higher damage. Do you remember what it was like in 2.6.3? You could genuinely fight someone and get huge amounts of hits on them and stuff. What do you think we will get for gameplay first? And when do you expect it? What? Roadmap. Check the roadmap. I don't know what you want from my Mark Pay. I mean, the roadmap literally... shows gameplay coming for 3.7, which is going to be caves and FPS modding and mission sharing, which is fucking huge. Important personal commodity inventory system, which is very, 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 very light version of the physicalized inventory, but which is annoying that they don't have physicalized inventory here. But it allows for harvesting and gathering FPS mining things and fruit and vegetables. We've got ship rentals. We've got the replacement of hover mode with proximity assist, which should hopefully be significantly better. Better weapon attachments and more weapon attachments. A load of ships. And then obviously 3 months after that, we've got more things. And then more things. Didn't know how to answer your question. Do you think Chris will walk out on stage and say 3.8 will have server-side object container streaming as a surprise? Maybe, but I think basically what they said when Chad McKinney was talking about it was that they could decouple certain parts of server-side object container streaming and persistence and release them separately, effectively. So they can go, well, we don't actually have to have full persistence. Before we go, we can save the amount of alpha UEC and what ships a player had on their account from patch to patch. Bam. You can just save that on the database and just port it over. Server-side object container streaming, we can have some of those features in without having the full server-side object container streaming in. Mission sharing is essential. It's less hype for me and more sort of like it should have been in ages ago. The same as ship rentals. Less hype, more should have been ages ago. We needed it. It's a needed feature. But yes, I suppose it is hype because I do want it. What if they increase the amount of players in server? Again, I think that's essential to do as soon as they can. And get another system in there. And get dynamic mission system is probably one of the super important things after getting mission sharing in. Mission sharing, dynamic mission system, and then events, points of interest, so that the game has things to do. Obviously, harvestables is great for that as well. In the next few quarters, they are building a game with a load of different hooks in it, and a load of busy work, and a load of things to find and do and look around and that sort of jazz. I'm doing alright, Mr. Philip. Mr. Philip Lemon. Yeah, ship-to-ship docking is pretty cool. And they said basically 3.8 should have the ability for parasite docking in the constellation and undocking. Yeah, it's very possible that they might not be able to get more players in server until they have static server meshing in. But I suspect they will test it, and there's going to be lots of other server updates as well, like the server-to-actor networking rework stuff. Do you think at any time they may add being able to share cash made in groups? Yes, so I think that mission sharing is one part of it, but there's also going to be the financial app they've got planned for the Moby-Glass, which I suspect will then allow players to send money to each other. And that was planned for 3.9? 3.9 accounting app. So Q1 2020. That's when I would expect that. What's your opinion of the Caterpillar board? Cool cargo ship. Needs its modularity for it to be the ship that it was promised to be. So we need to see its modules. We need to talk about those modules. We need to sell its modules. And then need to put the modules in game. What 5 ship in development and flight ready? I don't know what that means. What else have we got? When is the Starlifter coming in? It's planned for 3.4, so Q2 2020. Yeah, so there's a huge amount of stuff they need to get ready for Orca gameplay, multi-crew gameplay, and mission sharing, and getting the game have hooks to play, and that's all. There's a huge amount of that coming in the next 3 or so quarters. What 5 ships in development and flight ready do you like the most? Carrick, Gunner Merchantman, Orion, Endeavour, Javelin? Probably. I love loads of ships. That's the problem. I got Game Blast. I enjoy it. Oh, there's the Reclaimer as well. I got Game Blast. I enjoy it. But are the additional features worth it? If they are useful to you, then look into them. Look into them. Go. Oh, am I going to be doing that? Am I going to be doing mining with a prospector? Then potentially yes. Am I going to be doing one of these shards? Then potentially buy the shard individually. You might not need anything more than the free version of Game Glass. Sadly, removed the hull C from 3.8. Yes, but it is still planned to be completed for Squadron 42's needs by Q4 2019. And we could see it soon after 3.8, the hull C. They just basically said that it needed more time to get the physics refactor in and then the other bits and bobs for the hull C. It's a shame that it's not in the persistent universe, yes, admittedly. Sorry, what happened to the land claim thing? Sorry if it was asked before, but I couldn't find much news about it. So I actually talked to Aaron about this. They wanted it in originally at the end of 2018, but they reprioritized all the stuff, and land claim gameplay got knocked off the roadmap. Now, it was a high priority then for them to get land claim gameplay in and have some gameplay associated with that. So it's not going to be wasn't going to be the building outposts, but it was going to be sort of like protecting your claims and the harvestables and minables, I expect. So I do expect that land claims are probably coming next year, and will be associated with the minables, harvestables, and all that sort of stuff, and there'll be some interesting gameplay associated with that. Is the bomber variant the Harbinger of the Vanguard a flying joke with only 3 size 3 torpedoes really? I'm not a massive fan of the Harbinger, I never have been, and I do think it's very underpowered on paper. I'm going to dash off for dinner in a second. I'm not feeling too well. I think that's probably because I stayed up late and I've had a fuck ton of caffeine in a row. So I'm going to have some nom-noms and then have a little napsy. Because I'm basically a giant man baby. Any other questions before I find someone else to host? Let me just make sure that no one else has donated a fucking ridiculous amount of money. A date cutter, I love you! A date, you're the fucking AC, you're the best. So much fun with you yesterday. Didn't know you were such a goof. I am a reasonable goof. I'm much more relaxed with Rexillas and you guys now that I know that it's cool, okay to mess around and chat. So next time I join you, I'm hoping to have a even more chill or less chill time. Be more at ease with you. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Adate. Very much appreciated for the sub. Adate, one of the huge backers of my channel. Right. Horrible memory here. Did you mention when aliens and animals will be on planets and moons for us to kill? No, I'm hoping we see some of that at CitizenCon this year. It's not on the roadmap yet. Mantis hype. Is that what we think the coming soon is? Is it going to be the Mantis? Is that what we think it is? Is it on Star Citizen Leaks at the moment? Let's have a fucking look. Or is it on Reddit? We have a Reddit. Coming soon, Mantis eat caterpillar IRL. What? Oh, do you think the Mantis could be like a stealthy heavy fighter? Potentially. It's possible. I mean, the name sounds like it, doesn't it? Let's have a look at Star Citizen Leaks and see if there's anything. The image is titled Reveal Day 1. This is going to be a multi-day thing. Looking at haters' posts on it. Okay. We've got no... So it could be a Mantis. It's possible that the Mantis is coming soon. We were talking about this. They've got literally something that's been posted. Let's analyze this picture as best we can, actually. We've got this. It's coming soon. Can't see anything in there. Maybe if we... I'll fuck around with the contrast and stuff with that later, see if there's something hidden there. I used to do lots of weird puzzle-y things when I was younger. And then we've got the picture here. So there was a constellation there previously, and now it's a caterpillar in what appears to be the same space. The same space, the same picture. One was a constellation, and then it's a pirate caterpillar. Not sure if it's following it, or chasing it, or if there's something hiding in this asteroid. And now I'm thinking the RSI Mantis is a stealth heavy fighter. Mantis. Could be praying Mantis. Could be stealthy Heidi. I don't know. Could be nothing to do with that. Could be nothing to do with that. What feature are you most looking forward to in the coming patches? Dynamic mission system, because that leads on to points of interest and events and stuff that happen in the game when we're playing. So important. Do you think the coming soon could be Pyro? I mean, it could be. Well, I would hope to see a little bit more than I don't know. I mean, we are expecting to start to see Star Systems. I'm expecting it to be more of a reveal at CitizenCon. Thanks for putting so much energy and love into informing the Star Citizen community. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the love. I do get a lot of love. very rewarding when I do, because people watch my relatively low effort content. And I mean, some of it's high effort, but most of it is low effort news reporting, just reading and compressing and regurgitating. It's simple to cover news once you know your sort of like source. It's high intensity hours wise, but it's not like aggressively taxing or anything. I do love what I do, so thank you very much for helping me and donating and subscribing and liking and giving comments and feedback and sharing. And if people want to get involved with the channel, you're more than welcome to donate or to become a Patreon or whatever, or a Twitch member or a YouTube member. But sharing videos, that really fucking helps. Giving me feedback and comments really helps. It genuinely does. And ideas for videos and stuff like that as well. I love you very much. E-War Fighter? What do you think of E-War Fighter, okay? Fabric launched decon missiles to look like a Connie and then a caterpillar. I mean... maybe? But yes, I'm going to go host someone. And then I'm going to release a video. Actually, I'll fucking release the video now. You can go and watch it straight after. Upload the thumbnail for it. Oh, where did I put the thumbnail? Put the thumbnail in a different drive. Fucking idiot. I'm uploading well, I've just uploaded a Star Citizen playing with Rexilla operation. We did 3 operations and messed around, and I was probably fucking around a bit more than I should have. I'll do them a bit more seriously next time I play. But it was a damn good laugh with him, and so I will make that video live in a second. And then you fuckers can watch it if you want. No. Who is also on the Twitches, and we will go and host them in a second as well. Star Citizen. Advance. I don't want recording date. I want to get the end screen cards done.
Give me another intro.
No, you're not allowed another intro. Operation Fangirl is the name of the video.
Give me another intro.
No. Bam. Bam.
Promise me fat.
That's good. That's good. Perfect. That's saved. Video's going live now. Save. Check out Rexilla. Bam. Bam. That's perfect. We are going to host HC Vertigo. I love the man's face. And he hosted me as well the other day, which is very much appreciated. So give this man some love. Or you could watch my video. Bam. Bam. I'm going to host. This is my new video that I've just released. I hope you enjoy it. Even if you don't, well, fuck you. How about that, if you don't enjoy it? Bam. 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 Cash raid. People still give me money? People still give me money? Thank you very much for the host, Curzonian17. Thank you very much for the sub. I am just about to go and host HC Vertigo, but there is also a video that I've just uploaded. If you want to have a watch of me and Rexilla. It's fucking, my brain is broken. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much for the love today, guys. Very much appreciated. Go give this man some love, and I will see you soon. That was far too loud, wasn't it? Okay, let's do that. Love you guys. You take care. Peace out. And thank you very much for the love. Oh, so much love.